All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Curtis, and today we're going to be talking about a fragrance from the house of Carine Roitfeld called Carine. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts and opinions on this fragrance, then let's go. So here's my bottle of Carine by Carine Roitfeld. Beautiful, beautiful, very simple design. And before I start talking about this fragrance, let me give you a bit of a backstory. So a few weeks ago when I was in Tokyo, I was shopping for fragrances, and I usually go to this place in Yudakucho, which is very close to Ginza, called Hankyu. It's a department store, and there's a few locations throughout Tokyo. So I went to this department store, and I usually have this one rep that I deal with. I've spoken about her on the channel before. She's very nice, extremely knowledgeable, and always helps me discover like new fragrances, and then kind of, gives me a bit of helps me with like the story behind certain fragrances. And so she's like, hey Curtis, we have this fragrance in. We don't sell it here in the store, but we have a bottle of it, and it's by Dominique Ropion. And I was thinking about you when I got this, so I want you to sample it. So she brought it out, sprayed it on my arm. I smelled it, and yeah, blown away. And then later, throughout the day, I had this on my arm. And on the train ride home, I must have looked like a crazy person because I was just going like this, literally the whole way home. And I know everybody sitting around me must have been like, dude, what is this weird foreigner keep smelling his arm for? But the reason why I was doing this was because I was so blown away by the way this fragrance smells. For me, this fragrance is pushing into 10 out of 10 territory. It is that good. Now, before I can actually give this fragrance a 10 out of 10, it is very close, but I need to spend a bit more time with it. But man, what a beautiful, amazing job that Dominique Ropion did. I mean, this is a phenomenal fragrance. And also, the house of Carine Roitfeld was a house that I had never heard of before. So I was very thankful to the rep in Hankyu that introduced me to this house, because man, phenomenal. I was blown away by this fragrance. So yeah, I did a little bit of research, and I found a few other fragrances from this house that I'm very interested in sampling. So hopefully I can get a sample set from this house. And some other good news, if you didn't know, this fragrance house just recently started being sold at Lucky Scent. So you can purchase this fragrance at Lucky Scent. I got my bottle from So Avant-Garde, but yeah, Lucky Scent is also selling this fragrance house too. So definitely one to check out. But with that said, to talk a little bit about this fragrance and how it breaks down. So sorry guys, also before I jump into this, if I'm talking a little bit funny, my tongue hurts, the back of my tongue. I have this little sore on the back of my tongue, so it's really a little bit difficult to speak today, so I apologize if my speech is a bit slurred a little bit. But what this fragrance is to me is, this is if you are going for a walk outside in the springtime, the sun is shining, there are mountains surrounding you, and you're smelling this fresh, clean, floral-like air. And as you're walking, you're stepping on the greens. The grass is very green, and it's almost like you're feeling, you're smelling the earthiness from that grass. But it's not overbearing. Basically what dominates this mix for me is the combination of jasmine and gardenia. And that is providing this floral-like freshness. And, a lot of times in fragrance too, like jasmine can come off a bit indolic, and it can almost give like, like animalic type of smell, but it doesn't here. It comes off very fresh. I would say even there's a very subtle kind of like powderiness to this fragrance. Very, very subtle, extremely subtle. But that combination of the jasmine and gardenia just give this a floral freshness that is divine, heavenly. And what I really enjoy about this is the jasmine and gardenia. I put those on the light side of the fragrance. If you split this fragrance in half and you have the light side and the dark side, you have that jasmine and gardenia on the light side, and then you have patchouli that's holding down the base of this fragrance on the dark side. And that combination of the light and dark is an olfactive, heavenly experience. I mean, Dominique Ropion blended this to perfection, in my opinion. You know, he also put a bit of rose, and there's also some vetiver that's helping to give this fragrance a bit of legs. But what really stands out to me in this fragrance is, it is a slightly spicy as well, but it is that jasmine, gardenia, and patchouli. That combination is just magical here. And I think upon initial spray, you can definitely pick up on the patchouli. You can definitely tell that it's there, but over time, that patchouli subsides, and that's where that jasmine and gardenia shine in this fragrance. You can subtly pick up on a bit of rose as well, but that's tucked in behind the jasmine and gardenia. Jasmine and gardenia dominate this fragrance to my nose, but it's such a beautiful smell. And it's one of those smells that I don't have another fragrance that smells quite like this in my collection. So, man. So I was quick to jump on a full bottle purchase of this just because I was blown away from my first impressions of this fragrance in Tokyo. A magical experience, and I feel like, this house, I feel like, is one of those houses that you're probably going to slowly start to hear more and more people talking about, because to have a fragrance like this that, isn't being talked about so much, once people smell this fragrance right here, you guys, I'm telling you, game over. Game over. And for you guys who might be afraid of like white floral fragrances, don't be afraid of this one. I'm telling you, this is unisex right down the middle. I wouldn't say it pushes masculine. I don't say it pushes feminine. It's right down the middle, unisex, absolutely gorgeous wear. And I feel like that patchouli in there really helps to give it, if it didn't have the patchouli in here, I would say this probably pushes, it's unisex, but pushing feminine. But because of that patchouli, I feel like it gives it that slight kind of masculine touch to make it just right down the middle of unisex. And to touch on the presentation of this bottle here, I mean, this is gorgeous. I love the color. It's very simple, very chic design. This is a magnetic cap, pops right into place there. This is actually a 90 ml, so they sell 90 ml bottles. Now, they are quite pricey, so you'll have to, I would say, do not blind buy this. Definitely sample it, try to get yourself a sample set. And I did notice on Lucky Scent that they do sell, I think, 7.5 ml travel sprayers. I think it's like a set of 3 7.5 ml travel sprayers. So I think that goes for like $150 or so. So that might be something to look into if you didn't want a full bottle. But definitely do not blind buy this. Sample it first. But man, what a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance this is. And like I said before, for me, this one is kind of pushing into that 10 out of 10. I won't quite give it a 10 out of 10 yet because I need to spend some more time with this one. But man, it is right there on the cusp of being a 10 out of 10 and most likely will push into 10 out of 10. It really is that good, you guys. I'm telling you, Dominique Ropion, a master, and he's proven it again right here in this fragrance. This is a great one. All right, now let me touch on the performance of this fragrance. So for me, in terms of its longevity, I would say it has a strong longevity. In terms of its projection and sillage, I would say projection is a moderate to strong projection, but for sillage on this fragrance, I would say that it is strong. This definitely lingers in the air. People will pick up on it, and man, absolutely a stunner. In terms of seasonality with this, I would say for me, this one will shine in the spring and fall. This is a spring and fall banger in my opinion, but definitely I would say spring is probably the season where this is going to shine the best. Spring and fall though, yeah, hands down, easily you can wear this. But yeah, and in terms of like when to wear this fragrance, for me, I would say it's extremely versatile. You could wear this one casually or dressed up to, casual or formal events. I mean, this one is going to work a treat. It's a magical experience. I absolutely love it, and it's definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Carine by Carine Roitfeld. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comment section, do you know the house of Carine Roitfeld? What are your thoughts and opinions? Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.